It's weekly poll winner time, and again, there was another tie. Is this becoming a tradition? Weekly ties? Anyway, I have to break the tie with the coin. Well, today, again, Vlad is not behind the camera, so he can't supervise this, but I'll just do it on my own as best I can. Our traditional Romanian coin says 50 on one side, it says Romania on the other. And the options are the band or the Doors. That's an interesting set of choices. Okay. So let's put, it doesn't do any good to flip the coin unless I label it, right? Let's say the band can be on the side of 50 and the Doors can be on the side of Romania. I'm still clumsy with this, but we'll give it a shot. It went on the floor again. Let's see where it is. And it is the band. So, well, I gotta find it. The band, the weight. This sounds like a really heavy themed poll this week. The band, the Doors, the weight. All right, the band, the weight. The Band were a Canadian-American rock band formed in Toronto, Ontario. In the mid-1960s, they gained recognition for backing Bob Dylan on his 1966 concert tour as Dylan's first electric band. Ooh, okay, they were the ones who helped him go electric. Pink Floyd's Roger Waters deemed their debut the second most influential record in the history of rock and roll, and the music journalist Al Aronowitz called it country soul, a sound never heard before. All right. The band was inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame in 1989 and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1994. In 2004, Rolling Stone ranked them 50th on its list of the 100 greatest artists of all time. The band received a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in 2008 and were inducted into Canada's Walk of Fame in 2014. This is going to be my first time hearing the band, and I can't help but still kind of think about the name of the band. Like, the audacity of naming yourself the band. Not even the Doors, but the band. Which band? The band. As if the band. We're the only band because we're the band. Kind of like when they named themselves Queen. The Weight has significantly influenced American popular music, having been listed as number 41 on Rolling Stone's 500 Greatest Songs of All Time, published in 2004. Pitchfork Media named it the 13th best song of the 1960s, and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame named it one of the 500 songs that shaped rock and roll. PBS, which broadcast performances of the song on Ramble at the Ryman, 2011, and Austin City Limits, and Quick Hits, both 2012, described it as a masterpiece of biblical allusions, enigmatic lines, and iconic characters, and notes its enduring popularity as an essential part of the American songbook. So it does have a sort of weightiness to it. A sort of ponderance. Well, I don't know how it's going to sound, but that's the impression I get.
I pulled into Nazareth, was feeling about half-past dead. I just need some place where I can lay my head. Hey, mister, can you tell me where a man might find a bed? He just grinned and shook my hand. No was all he said. Take a load off, Fanny. Take a load for free. Take a load off, Fanny. And you put the load right on me. I picked up my bag.
Yes, right out of the starting gate. Biblical language. I pulled into Nazareth. And the idea of the load. Well, right, the song is called The Weight. So we're already moving in that direction. But the music. This is an interesting feel, an interesting blend of musical elements and I kind of like the way there's such an abundance of plucked guitar, especially at the beginning, and maybe there'll be more coming, I don't know, but I like that along with these really heavy drums and the lightness of the plucked strings, which almost has, well, how did he say it at the top? Country soul. Yeah, the plucked sound kind of has a sort of country overtones to it, but it's not really that strong. There is the heavy sturdiness, which is given to us especially by the drums, but also the piano comes in a little bit meaty. And okay, keeping going. This is fun.
And you put the load right on me. I picked up my bag. I went looking for a place to hide. When I saw Carmen and the devil
Bum, 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 bum. You hear that piano down there? Bum, 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 bum. And the strum guitar.
Come on, let's go downtown. She said, I gotta go, but my friend can stick around. Take a load off Fanny. Take a load off Free. Take a load off Fanny. And you put the load right on. Go down.
I guess, okay, I'm entertained by the blend of piano and drums and guitar. I'm entertained by that. I'm enjoying it. It's fun. But I'll tell you what I really, really like about this is the way the voices are handling the music. I wouldn't say any one of these voices are particularly outstanding on their own, but it's how they are shaping and responding and traveling through the music. An easy example is when we get to the chorus and we have the voices singing together, and the way they sing, and there's a sort of crescendo. But there's so much of that happening even in the verse with the solo voice. And there's such an instinctive, natural sense of exactly where to lean in and where to back off and how to give it a little bit of extra punchiness. And when I say punchiness, I'm thinking back to my high school days, refining my essay writing skills, and I was writing essays and doing research papers and stuff like that, and the information was there, but I remember some advice I was given one time. It wasn't actually a teacher, but it was an assistant who was helping me, teacher's assistant who was walking me through the editing refinement process of one of the papers I'd written. And he said something which stuck with me then, really stood out to me, and has guided me ever since. Make it punchy. Get rid of the extra stuff. Where you need it strong, make it a little stronger. Where you want to soften it a little bit more. Make it really vivid, strong contrasts, and make the language punchy. Well, now here we're going to music. And when I say punchy, I don't want it to sound as if I'm saying they're accenting or being aggressive. It's not that. But it's the vividness. It's the enhancing what already exists in the music. And the way he's using his voice to do that is so nice. So well done. And okay, this country soul description kind of fits because there is a sort of simplicity in the, and maybe country style format, melody, harmony, but then we get the soul element as well, which is much more emotional, and I like this combination. I find myself really enjoying this.
You put the load right on me. Go down, Miss Moses.
Miss Moses.
Can't say it's just old Luke, and Luke's waiting on a judgment day. Well, Luke, my friend, what about young Anna Lee? He said, do me a favor, son, won't you stay and keep Anna Lee company? Take a load off Fanny, take a load free, take a load off Fanny, and you put the load right on me.
With all this biblical imagery and allusions,
Said I will fix you right if you take Jack, my dog. I said, wait a minute, Chester, you know I'm a peaceful man. He said, that's okay, boy, won't you feed me when you can?
so it's interesting the way all these biblical references and suggestions are brought in here. It gives it a sort of caricature-like intensity, and the way. Okay, just going back through here. Pulled into Nazareth. Okay, little town named Nazareth. Fine, but then the way it's bouncing between biblical and non-biblical imagery. I saw Carmen and the devil walking side by side. Or go down Miss Moses. I like this verse. Go down Miss Moses. There's nothing you can say. It's just old Luke, and Luke's waiting on the judgment day. All right, so biblical, but at the same time, Miss Moses. All right. And then the next line. Well, look, my friend, what about young Anna Lee? And suddenly you feel like, this is nothing biblical at all. This is some small town relationships and personalities. And these are all names and characters which you can easily find in any American rural town. Miss Moses, that could be a surname. Luke, Anna Lee. It's so relatable. So everyday, ordinary. Underneath it all, and even right on the surface, it's just, and then contrast that with a verse where crazy Chester followed me. He caught me in the fog. Okay, that's not a biblical opening at all, is it? In fact, we don't find a lot really alluding to biblical ideology there, except perhaps, wait a minute, Chester, you know I'm a peaceful man. Okay, peaceful man, yeah, we could read into that if we want. But the way it's throwing us from one side to the other in the lyrics, kind of like the way the music is so vividly colored. The way the voice is so dramatically handling every little curve and corner of the music.
Said that's okay, boy. Won't you feed me when you can?
Yeah, take a load off Fanny. Take a load free. Take a load off Fanny. And you put the load right on me.
Bum 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 bum. Walking down bass line. Bum bum.
Get your cannonball now to take me down the line. My bag is sinking low, and I do believe it's time to get back to Miss Fanny. You know she's the only one who sent me here with her regards for everyone. Take a load off Fanny. Take a load free. Take a load off Fanny. And you put the load right on me.
I feel like many of you are kind of getting a sense of maybe my sense of humor when it comes to music. I find this so fun and so funny, so richly enjoyable, even though, yeah, okay, it's kind of simple music, but it's so well done. And the as it said, Quick Hits describes it as a masterpiece of biblical allusions, enigmatic lines, and iconic characters. I think they summed it up well. I love the sort of enigmatic qualities that we find in here. Like, really, what am I supposed to make of this? Am I supposed to make anything of this? It makes me think of some of the what the Beatles put out as well, where it was intentionally meant to be ambiguous, intentionally meant to mean nothing in particular. Okay, you can pull lines out where there's some sense to it, but well, I'm currently working through the Let It Be album, and I'm thinking especially of Lennon's Dig a Pony, and the way in which it's constructed, where it's supposed to sound perfectly logical and sensible as a piece of music, but when you start digging into what does it mean, I feel like that about these lyrics here. Is there some profound meaning to this? I don't know. I'm guessing not. Maybe so. We could invent something if we want, but I don't feel a need to, because it's just vividly, brilliantly funny and enjoyable simply as it is. And the way that there is there are these overtones, this suggestion of weighty subject matter via biblical allusions. Moses, Luke, Nazareth, and then towards the end, catch a cannonball now to take me down the line. My bag is sinking low, and I do believe it's time. The very strong suggestion that the narrator is coming to the end of their life. What is exactly meant by catch a cannonball? I'm not sure I could figure that out, but it sounds like something. And I feel like this could what I love about this, and perhaps it's not just this band and this song, but the 60s era rock music and the folk rock music that I find myself drawn towards. I love this sort of rugged, rustic spirit that exists in it. I feel like this song could have been pulled out of any American small town, but with a line like "Catch a Cannonball" and "Time to get back to Miss Fanny, she's the only one who sent me here with her regards for everyone," I almost start feeling like, is this perhaps even a set in, I don't know, the Civil War, the War of Independence? I don't know. It's not trying to be, as I said, as the introduction said, it's enigmatic. But there are these allusions and suggestions and playing with things that we recognize and cross-reference to. And that makes it incredibly fun, a little bit teasing, like a puzzle that says you gotta solve this. And so it holds your attention in that way too. But then musically, it's just incredibly satisfying, incredibly well sung, well presented. All of this, I find myself really enjoying it. Although I can't say, oh, there's some profound message or the music is fantastic for whatever reason. I can't put my finger on one particular thing, but it's the overall. And because of that, that's why I'm saying, I think that you guys are probably getting a pretty good idea of the sort of music that I enjoy simply because it's good, fun music. This is one of those. And so I have to say, again, thank you to all of you who have voted for this song, for putting it up there. Yes, it was a tie. I'm sorry to disappoint the other half of you. My coin didn't flip to the doors this morning, but I thoroughly enjoyed this listen. It made me laugh, and it gave me a good start to the day. So for that, thank you. I'll see you soon.